So could you tell me your full name, please?
My full name is Jiminna.
Jiminna.
Yes.
Could you spell that for me, please?
Jiminna.
Okay. And Jiminna, are you working or are you a student?
I'm not either of them right now, but I'm going to be a student soon, so I'm preparing for the university.
Okay. And what are you going to study?
My major is interaction design.
And why did you choose this major?
I was not actually quite interested in this major, but I thought it would be a good major because the world is getting more advanced these days. And interaction design is related to things like Siri and those stuff. So I think it would be an important factor.
And what do you like to do when you have some free time?
I like to dance, and that's one of my hobby I enjoy.
Okay. And could you describe your hometown for me?
My hometown is a city called Gumi, and it's next to a more bigger city named Daegu. And I lived there until 3 years old, so I don't really remember a lot of things.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about music. So what kinds of music do you like?
I like musics, mostly all kinds of musics, and especially pop songs. And I also enjoy listening to K-pop musics.
And what kinds of music do you dislike and why?
I don't dislike a particular type of music, but I don't enjoy listening to jazz because I don't think the rhythm and sounds go well with me.
Okay. And do you like the same kinds of music as your friends?
It depends on what friends they are. Like, some of my friends only like listening to K-pop music, but others enjoy listening to pop songs. So it depends on what friends they are.
Okay. And what is the most popular type of music in your country?
I think definitely K-pop is the most popular thing in our country because it is worldwide known also. And there's a lot of K-pop stars in our country.
Okay. And now we're going to talk about small businesses. So do you know many small businesses where you live?
I don't think so.
No.
Yes.
Mostly large companies where you live?
There's not a lot of large companies. There's just a lot of academies. And lots of people in our town come to Seoul to go to the company.
Okay, all right. Do you prefer buying things in big companies or small businesses?
I prefer buying things in big companies because I think it's more trustworthy. And there's a reason why everyone buys them.
Okay. And have you ever thought about starting your own business?
I wish I can start my business. It's a goal for my life, but I'm too young for it right now.
Okay, that will do us for part one. We'll move on to part two now. I'll give you the question here. Here is your question. There's a pencil there for you. So yeah, I'll give you 1 minute to do some note taking. All right. So yeah, you can start now. That's 1 minute now. All right. So yeah, your part two question today. Could you describe your favorite place in your house where you can relax?
I relax mostly in my beanbag, and it is located in my room. And I feel very comfortable in it because there's all these small beans inside the beanbag, and it's very soft. So when you just lie down in the beanbag, you feel very relaxable. And I enjoy hearing music and watching YouTubes in my beanbag because since it's a place where I get to relax, I do a lot of stuff with my phone. And I feel relaxed here because the cushion is very soft and like lying down in my bed or sitting in a chair really hurts my back, but the beanbag makes me feel it doesn't really hurt and it's just suitable for my body, I guess.
That's about a minute and a half now. Minute and a half. Okay, on your beanbag. So do you sit on your beanbag every day?
Yes.
Yeah. How long do you think you sit on your beanbag each day?
It depends on what schedule I have on that day, but when it's a day that I have nothing, I just stay there all the time.
Okay, perfect. Now we'll move on to the third part of the test. All right, so we'll keep going. All right, so for our first question, why is it difficult for some people to relax?
People like influencers and popular people sometimes have too much thing to think about. Like, I think it's the problem with their work and stuff. They just don't have time to relax.
And how can people try to relax their mind if they're feeling stressed about work?
Some people goes to travel, and others just get along with their friends. For example, I enjoy traveling when I get stressed all the time. And by meeting other people makes me feel more better.
Okay. And what are the benefits of doing exercise for people?
Exercise. First of all, it is beneficial because you'll get more healthier. And I heard that by exercising, your feeling gets more positive. And it's one of the ways that depressed people like try to make themselves feel better.
Yes. And do you think people in your country usually exercise after work?
I don't think that they have a lot of time to exercise after work because a lot of Koreans finish their work very late, and I feel like they will be more like a lot tired to work out.
Is there anything governments or companies can do to make people exercise more?
I believe that if governments make a law that makes all the company end up early, then in that way people would have more free time afterwards.
All right. And when people are at home, in what room do they usually spend most of their time?
I guess it's their bedroom because there's their bed in it, and people just like to lie down in their bed since that's the most comfortable thing.
Yes. Do you think people spend more time at home these days compared to the past?
Uh, I think so because uh, they get really tired of these relationships they make outside. A lot of my friends do, so they want to stay at their home a lot.
And which do you think is more important, mental relaxation or physical relaxation?
I think it's mental relaxation because physical relaxation is also an important thing, but the first thing we need to care about is mental health since our brain does everything to work ourselves.
All right, that will do us for the test. All done. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so yeah, let's start with the feedback. So yeah, we'd estimate your score at about 6.5. Positives, like really nice pronunciation, and yeah, at times you're showing good fluency, although there's some hesitation, but that's normal. I'll just run through like a few grammar and phrasing errors that we could improve on. So first one was I'm preparing for the university. So make sure when you talk about university, you don't put any article before it. I'm preparing for university. Or maybe like I'm preparing to start university. That could be good as well.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're talking about your hobby, you said one of my hobby. When you use the expression one of my, you have to use a plural afterwards. So one of my hobbies is da, da, da.
Okay.
What else could we say? Oh, I asked you about starting your own business, and you said like I wish I can. I think a better expression there would be like I hope I can in the future. Wish is more like for like past regrets, things that you can't change. So like I wish I could, I wish I could have. It's something that's not possible, but you should say I hope I can do that in the future. Just yeah, the small business questions were a little tricky.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's more like talking about maybe small coffee shops or small restaurants like owned by local people rather than large franchises. So I think yeah, you could talk about like local coffee shop or local restaurant. They would be suitable there.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure in part one you try to expand on your answers a little more. Try and give some reasons. Yeah, if you can. Okay. Part two, yeah, you spoke for a minute and a half. Pretty good. So you talked about your beanbag. You were using the preposition in my beanbag. Should be on because you're you're on top of it.
Yes.
Yeah. So on my beanbag, you can feel relaxable. I wouldn't say relaxable. I would say relaxed. Just put ed at the end. You can feel relaxed there. Yeah. One other thing you said about hearing music. Hearing music. So for first thing, music is uncountable, so you can't have any s there. So just music. And hearing. What's the difference between hearing and listening to?
I can't explain, but that was my mistake.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so listening to is more like that's what you want to do, and you're like doing it as a hobby. But hearing, it's more like it's the sound is coming from somewhere else. Hearing music, but listening to music is more like it's your hobby. Yeah. All right. Yeah, rest of it was good. A couple of things with comparatives, like more better, more healthier. Just make sure, just better, just healthier. Yeah. And one other common one was go to travel. So travel is also a verb, so you can just say I travel. So travel or go on a trip. Go on a trip. Yeah, so to relax, I travel, I go on a trip. Yeah. The other thing is part three. Remember, like the questions are about people in general. So I wouldn't really say like about your experience there. I would say like people like to travel when they feel stressed. Yeah. But yeah, overall it was a good test. So yeah, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.